What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I have Jason down here for the weekend.
He didn't even know it. I was like, you know what? It's raining up here in Oklahoma. What are you doing today? He said nothing. I said, well, I'm on my way.
So I figured while he's down here, I'm gonna put him to work because that's how I roll. We are getting ready to transform this shed to house. All this green paint on this wall behind me, you see over here, we are gonna be taking all that off.
Yeah, layers.
3 different layers of paint we're gonna be taking off, and we're gonna go back to the natural wood look. It's gonna be a very tedious thing to do.
A lot of work,
but it's gonna look awesome. The house is gonna look completely different. We're starting here in the living room. Once we're done with that, we're gonna move over to the kitchen, and then we're gonna go over to the second bedroom and do that wall. But
farmhouse to cabin.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a, ooh, that's a good title.
It's a transformation.
But yeah, it's gonna end up looking just straight up like a cabin. I like this whole cedar look back here on my fireplace, so it's gonna have that theme throughout the house now. And I'm not looking forward to doing this because I'm still talking and I'm trying not to work.
Well, Jared, I said, man, I don't really like this paint color. He said, I don't know what color to paint it, maybe a tan. I said, what if we strip the paint off? He's like, I don't know about all that. And I said, let's just do it.
It's gonna be a lot of work, but
yeah,
man, I tell you what, we have a little section done over here.
It's gonna look good.
It's gonna look good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys down. It's gonna be a time lapse for a little while, then we'll cut in and out and just talk about things. But let's stop talking and let's start working.
Alright guys, so now that we got all this done, of course there's still some more on the top, but what we're thinking about is turning this sucker into a log cabin. He wants a cabin look. So in the middle of here, it's difficult to get all the paint, so I was like, what's the easiest way to get around this? So, drywall spackle. Yep. We're gonna stick it in, and then I'm just gonna get my finger, smooth it out, and then go back and sand once it's dry. Then we'll clear coat, do all the stuff. We got paint, we may paint the spackle, it depends on what it looks like, and we got paint for the trim, so we got a lot of work to do, but drywall spackle will hopefully make this look like a cabin without having to get all the middle part out, so let's see. Alright, so kind of getting that dust out. I got some spackle on there, and we're going to kind of just stick it in there. It's going to be a lot at the beginning, which even that's not bad. And then just come with your finger, and then all I'm gonna do is stick it back on here.
Just fill in the gap.
And it's gonna look like chinking. This is something I tried to do in my own house, but with cordwood, but the cordwood was...
And for those who don't know what chinking is, explain it to them.
So chinking is when you see a log cabin, a real log cabin. It's a mortar mix that back in the day, it would cover the gaps between the logs.
So the air won't go in and out?
Yeah, it would seal it up. But here, clearly, we don't need that. This is just more of looks. So, tedious, but it should look good when it's done. right, guys, as you can see, we got all the paint off for the most part. Now we're gonna go in and fine tune with that orbital sander. Plus, up close.
Oh man, it's a lot of work.
It is. We've been doing this for several hours.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
So now we're gonna come in and take all this out and smooth it down with the orbital sander. That way it only leaves the drywall on the inside. So we finally finished sanding it all down. It took forever. We spent hours today. It's already dark outside. Hours doing this. So we still need to let the drywall spackle in between dry a little bit more. It's getting white, so that's where we want it, but we're letting it dry. So right now we got a antique white paint. We're gonna do the trim, and then we're gonna do the door trim. So we're gonna do that while it's drying. And I got so much sawdust in my freaking nose. All right, guys, so this is dried up, and Jared's about to take a shower. I just took a shower. We were dirty, so this is dried up, so I'm gonna go ahead and start painting these cracks. We're gonna paint the same color as this. I thought you were supposed to be in the shower.
Not yet. I had to change the little one.
All right. And I'm not too worried, guys, if it gets on here, because I'm gonna go back and sand a little bit anyways.
He's living on the couch.
So, oh man, you can barely tell. That's
Tell
good. Look, you can barely tell the difference.
I can definitely tell a difference.
So that's good.
Where did you even put it? Which line?
All right, guys, so as you can tell, it's all been sanded down and painted. So now the last thing to do is clear coat. This is what, an oak?
Am I doing all this? Yeah. The
All of
here,
it,
right?
yeah. An oak finish. This should just give it enough color that it would make it pop. So, time-lapse time.
Guys, what do you think? This is the finished product on this wall. All right, Vanna White.
Well, I'm trying to outdo Tom.
But we still have a lot of work to do in this house. We're gonna go ahead and run the same type of wood all the way up the dormer on the other side of the house as well. It took a long time to get all that paint off, but it's off and it looks totally different.
Yeah, 100% completely different. When we first built the house, we were all kind of thinking, let's do farmhouse, whatever. And then instantly, I think we both realized, cabin's a lot cooler.
Yeah, I like cabin.
So it was 3 different colors of paint on there, but you're talking about 2 coats per thing. So about 6 coats of paint taken off. We used a sand or a sander, a planer, a palm sander, a grinder. I mean, it took everything to get it off.
and then went back and put a poly on it.
Yeah.
And
well, and then to get the cabin feel, we put the drywall spackle in there. It just gives it enough of a look that it looks kind of like a cabin. Not full blown, but it does look pretty dang good.
I like the way it looks up close because you can definitely tell it looks. You can see the spackling in there, and
texture,
then, and then over here on the wood, where we went in and grinded everything down and sanded it down, it gives it like an old look. Like,
yeah, it almost looks like it came off an old sawmill because you get the cut marks, but it was actually the sander. And I know a lot of people freak out when you sand against the grain, but it gives you those cool. It looks like saw blade marks. So
and then up here, there's some old like screw holes, stuff like that. It just gives it
an antique
character.
Yeah, a real good look. And then we used antique white paint on that, and then antique white paint in the cracks, and it gave it a really good clean look. I'm excited now. I'm even potentially thinking of doing this on my house.
I'm not excited to do the rest of it because it's a lot of work, but the end product's gonna look awesome. And
we got about 8 hours of work in here.
Yeah, like I said, with the dormer up top, that should be pretty easy. We're just gonna pull down the old cedar planks that are up there, switch it up with these boards. That way it matches all the way up.
Yeah,
it's gonna look pretty cool. It's gonna completely change the entire look of this house. I'm gonna be repainting all the kitchen cabinets as well, getting rid of all that dark stuff, lighting it up with more natural wood looks. It's gonna look awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, so to think that this was a shed, but now it looks like a cabin.
Yeah, it went from
it's pretty freaking awesome.
A farmhouse shed to a shed cabin.
Yeah, and we were trying to get a more natural look because you could tell there is cedar on the fireplace. Jared started to do a bunch of like real cedar in here. We've been getting that from like the Sawyer's house and stuff. So it's really gonna start popping like a real cabin.
And then TheReelMattCrocker, he should be up either today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. By the time this comes out, he'll probably be up here, but he's gonna help me finish all the rest of this stuff. We're gonna be living in a construction zone, Matt, so I hope you're ready.
Yeah, if you can't tell, we're just covered in sawdust.
I may be a really good brother and let Matt have my bedroom, and I'll live in the construction because I know Matt's a little more bougie than I am.
You'd be a better brother if I didn't have to come back and finish this.
But no, you're gonna come down. So, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. What do you think? It's a 16 by 50 shed to house that was a farmhouse converted into a cabin. So it's a Dirksen model, and it's my house. So
shoot dang bang bang.
Shoot dang bang bang.
Shout out to Tom and Rhonda for the coffee mug.
Yeah.
Drinking my coffee this morning.
Cold Beer Ranch.
Cold Beer Ranch for sponsoring. Shoot dang for sponsoring. So yeah, pretty awesome.
Alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, go down and smash the like button. Subscribe to the Crockers. Subscribe to my channel, Jared Crocker. And we'll see you guys on our next video.